Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a 19-year-old accused in a shooting over the weekend in Victoria now in jail without bond.
Police arrested 4 suspects in connection to the shooting deaths of 5 family members in Cleveland near Houston.
And Atlanta police say multiple people are hurt in an active shooter situation. The suspect still at large.
Well, in the short term, we've got the cloud cover and the warm weather and fairly quiet weather. The thing is, now this time of year, we start watching West Texas to see what's firing out there because some of that severe weather may roll this way. So we'll be watching it for you and having your latest coming up in a moment.
Plus, a victim in the deadly mass shooting in Dadeville, Alabama, opens her eyes for the first time after the shooting. You're watching 25 News Now at 5. Good afternoon. Thank you for being with us. I'm James Munoz.
And I'm Karina Garcia.
This is Tuesday night. Authorities arrested a man on charges of deadly conduct in connection to a previous weekend shooting. Police say a weapon was found in his vehicle. Police say the suspect was under surveillance when he was arrested in the 8300 block of Northeast Zach Lentz Parkway. Police also detained a minor who was in the passenger vehicle.
This is a closer look at the suspect. He's identified as 19-year-old Trayvon Martinez. Martinez is held without bond at the Victoria County Jail. Police say he was involved in a shooting in the 300 block of Cornwall Drive Saturday, April 29th. Shots were fired at a home, but no one was hurt. Now, during the stop, officers found a firearm in the vehicle, which led to the arrest of 23-year-old J-Rod Lewis, who was a passenger. Lewis faces a number of charges, including carrying a weapon illegally and possession of marijuana.
This is an ongoing investigation. Anyone with information can call the investigation unit at 361-485-3700. You can also remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200.
And with that, here is your viewer poll this afternoon. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote now. The question is, are you more concerned about violent crime or drugs in the Crossroads? Your options are violent crime or drugs. We want to hear your opinion. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate, and we will have an update on 25 News Now at 6.
Seadrift Police Chief Leonard Bermea is suspended without pay after a complaint was filed against him. The Port Lavaca Wave reports it's unclear who filed the complaint. Seadrift Mayor Elmer DeForest announced Bermea's suspension last night at the City Council meeting. Mayor DeForest says he expects the council will formally deal with the matter in June. For now, Officer Marie Carizales will serve as interim police chief.
At least 4 people were arrested in connection with the suspect accused of shooting 5 people, including a 9-year-old child inside a home in Cleveland. 38-year-old Francisco Orpesa was arrested Tuesday evening. He faces 5 counts of murder. Authorities also arrested 52-year-old Davina Nava, believed to be his wife. She's accused or charged with hindering apprehension of a known felon. Another man was taken into custody Tuesday evening for possession of marijuana, although his role in the deadly shooting is under investigation.
The individual who is in custody in Montgomery County, that is going to be his wife, Miss Nava. There is an individual, and I don't have his name correct, so I don't want to hazard a guess, who is associated, a friend or an acquaintance. He's booked here in San Bernardino County Jail. He was booked in last night under possession of marijuana charges. We expect those charges, additional charges, to be filed.
Authorities did not name that other person arrested during today's press conference. Police say one person was fatally shot and at least 4 other people are hurt in a shooting in a Midtown Atlanta building. The Atlanta PD said on Twitter the active shooter was inside a building on West Peachtree Street. No suspect was in custody. Police sent out a photo of the person believed to be the shooter. The person was wearing dark pants and a light-colored hoodie with the hood pulled up. He was identified as 24-year-old Dion Patterson. Police urged anyone in the area to secure their building and to shelter in place. That was just about 6 hours ago. We'll keep you updated on that. All right, let's pause and check in with the First Warn Storm Team, Chief Meteorologist Maclovio Perez. We are crossing our fingers for just a light rain.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. The stuff that's firing out in West Texas could get big. Right now, it's like we're not really in the direction of it, but it could change, and so we're going to have to watch it. Fairly nice weather. In fact, we're past, it seems like, the severe storms with the cold fronts, and now we're getting what I call the early summer pattern. Fairly quiet, benign, little cloud cover, but out. You've probably heard of the West Texas dry line. It initiates big thunderstorms in the late afternoon hours. That's what it's doing today, and we'll see how, if any way, that affects us a little bit later on in the program. Stay tuned.
Mac, thank you. Hundreds of LGBTQ advocates packed the Texas Capitol Tuesday ahead of the House's expected consequential vote on a bill potentially banning gender-affirming care for children.
Senate Bill 14 would prohibit trans youth from getting puberty blockers and hormone therapy care medical groups say is vital to their mental health in order to transition.
One of the most striking days the Texas legislature has seen this session. As one of the most controversial bills this session came before the Republican-led House, more than 100 LGBTQ supporters were forced to leave the Capitol by DPS officers. Senate Bill 14, which has already passed the upper chamber, would effectively ban Texas minors from accessing gender-related treatments like puberty blockers and hormones. There's no official tally on how many Texas youth could be affected by this legislation, but there are some estimates, including one last year from UCLA's Williams Institute, which says nearly 30,000 Texas minors identify as transgender, meaning they could be barred from receiving gender-related treatment. That brought more than 100 demonstrators to the Texas Capitol on Tuesday, calling on lawmakers to vote the bill down.
Denying the care risks the lives of Texans, the same Texans the people in this Capitol and in this House are here to serve.
One demonstrator was allegedly removed from the Capitol and banned for the next year, according to Equality Texas, for displaying this banner that reads, "Let trans kids grow up." A group of conservative advocates surrounded by LGBTQ advocates, with Capitol security closing in as the demonstrators shouted at one another. Let's go! And in an unexpected development, that bill was sent a step backward.
I move that SB 14 be recommitted to the Committee on Public Health.
Delaying, but likely not avoiding, a vote on the controversial measure.
Governor Greg Abbott sent a bus carrying 41 migrants to New York City, where they arrived at the Port Authority bus terminal this morning. They were greeted by Commissioner Manuel Castro of the Mayor's Office of Immigrant Affairs. The city has seen between 200 to 300 migrants a day for nearly a year now. More than 120 hotels were turned into emergency shelters. Castro believes after Title 42 is lifted next week, the city could see closer to 1,000 migrants a day, which he says is not sustainable.
A young teen who was shot 3 times during a deadly mass shooting in Dadeville, Alabama is recovering. Last week, Kara Johns was in a medically induced coma to reduce swelling in her brain.
2 days ago, she opened her eyes for the first time since the shooting.
When you have a little hope and then you have everything go right, it's a 10. So it's a good feeling.
Kara Johns has been fighting for her life. Her father, Justin Johns, telling me nurses did not think she would make it after being shot 3 times, once in the head, chest, and stomach.
I don't know why this really happened other than it's just a senseless act.
Kara was one of about 60 people who attended Alexis Dowdell's Sweet 16 birthday party at a local dance studio just over 2 weeks ago, when gunfire erupted, taking 4 lives and injuring 32 people.
2 days ago, she was able to squeeze her left hand.
During this interview, Johns was heading to Piedmont Columbus Regional Midtown, where since the incident, Kara has been in a medically induced coma. Johns has since updated me and says Kara was taken off the ventilator Tuesday morning, where her first reaction was loud cries and confusion.
She's also able to respond. If you ask her questions, she can nod her head yes.
John says Kara is now ready for the next steps to her recovery. First, starting out by trying to say her name. He says the bleeding in her stomach is now under control and her blood pressure is at a good rate.
That was a traumatic experience she went through. You worry about, things, activities she was involved in, things she might not be able to do this year. It just makes you feel a little torn up inside.
Prayers and uplifting messages are small gestures of what Johns believes has gotten Kara this far in her recovery.
I've gotten so many texts and so many Facebook messages about the concern about Kara, and it does mean a lot. I do believe that prayer is the reason why she is still here. I just want to thank all y'all for what y'all been doing.
Authorities arrested 6 people and charged them in connection with the shooting.
The general manager of the Crow Record has accepted a new position, but will always hold a place in her heart for DeWitt County. Sonia Timpone started as an advertising agent with the Crow Record 16 years ago. She worked her way up to general manager. Timpone credits her 16 years with the Crow Record for developing a passion for marketing and media relations.
I really enjoyed my time at the Quero Record and learning so much. There is a great, strong readership in DeWitt County for the Quero Record and the Yorktown News View. Quero and DeWitt County is still growing, and I am so happy and thankful to have been a part of that growth and continue to be so.
Timpone is moving on to a marketing and public relations position here in the Crossroads. She says she'll miss covering Quero Gobbler football the most.
Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave this week. 23-year-old Frank Joseph was arrested in the murder of 61-year-old Mary Vervin in Seadrift on April 26. And law enforcement made 26 weekly arrests in the month of April. Plus, a resident at Bethany Senior Living rediscovered her artistic talent after she fell ill to COVID-19. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com.
We're just getting started. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5. At least 9 people were killed in a school shooting Wednesday morning in Serbia.
Also ahead, security video captures a drunk driver driving into a restaurant twice.
At Building Kid Steps, we understand that every child is unique. That's why we offer personalized therapy programs designed to meet each child's individual needs. Whether your child needs help with speech or physical development, our experienced therapists use play-based techniques to make therapy fun and engaging.
We believe that every child has the potential
to reach their full potential,
and we're here to help them every step of the way.
Contact us today to learn more about how we can help your child thrive.
You want to have purpose, to unlock your full potential. Imagine a career that fits you. With the Pathways at Victoria College, you can take steps towards a high-paying career that fits you and your interests. Or save money by completing courses you need before transferring to a university to earn a bachelor's degree. No matter where you came from or where you are now, Victoria College will take you where you want to be. The world needs you. Are you ready? Victoria College. Enroll today.
At least 9 people were killed in a school shooting Wednesday morning in Serbia. Officers responded to reports of a shooting at a prestigious school around 8:40 a.m. local time. 8 children and a security guard were killed when a teenage boy opened fire at the school in the capital. The suspect was identified as a 7th grade student with the initials KK. Authorities say he was arrested in the schoolyard. A motive for the shooting is currently unknown at this time. Now, a man is charged with drunk driving after police say he slammed into a restaurant twice. Security video shows the SUV inside a Subway in Wisconsin Tuesday. The driver backs up into the parking lot, then floors it and ends up back inside the restaurant. Police say the 75-year-old driver admitted to drinking alcohol before the incident. No one was hurt in this crash.
Ed Sheeran was back in a Manhattan courtroom today. He's accused of copying Marvin Gaye's song, Let's Get It On, in a copyright trial with his 2014 song, Thinking Out Loud. The heirs of Ed Townsend, Gaye's co-writer, are suing Sheeran, represented by civil rights attorney Ben Crump. He was questioned about a live mashup of Gaye's song. Crump said the mashup was a confession. However, Sheeran said if he stole the melody, he'd be an idiot to play it in front of a crowd. He also brought his guitar to show how his song was inspired by another song. Closing arguments are expected soon. There's new information for people in the early stages of Alzheimer's.
A new experimental drug has shown promising results in a large clinical trial slowing cognitive decline in many patients.
For the millions of Americans affected by Alzheimer's, the road to battling the disease has been bumpy, but an experimental medication is offering new hope.
It's not a cure. It is not going to be a miracle drug. It is a great first step.
Participants in a large clinical trial receive the medicine donanemab by infusion once a month. The drug maker says it slowed declines in patients' ability to think clearly and perform daily tasks by more than a third. The drug works by removing plaque buildups in the brain known as amyloid that are a hallmark of Alzheimer's disease.
They only work at the very early stages of the disease. So if you have mild to moderate Alzheimer's dementia, it's too late.
That's why neurologist Douglas Shari with the Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says we need to build upon this research, stressing that early detection is critical. This latest drug is among a new group showing promise. The FDA granted accelerated approval for another experimental Alzheimer's drug called lecanemab in January. Robert Egge with the Alzheimer's Association says access to these new and upcoming drugs needs to improve.
That's what's the priority right now, is to make sure that these important treatments are available. If a patient and their doctor decide it's right for them, they can be sure that Medicare will have them available.
The drug maker plans to file for FDA approval by the end of June. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The civil trial concerning author E. Jean Carroll's lawsuit against Donald Trump continued into day 6 today in New York. Carroll has accused the former president of raping her in the mid-90s and then later defaming her by lying about it in public comment. Trump has repeatedly denied the accusations. A clinical psychologist returned to the stand for direct examination by Carroll's attorney. Roberta Kaplan, her attorney, questioned her about Carroll's trauma and her memories associated with the rape.
Here are some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record this week. Texas Ag Commissioner Sid Miller spoke at a Cuero Chamber luncheon. Ella Jander becomes Miss Cuero for 2023. Plus, Cuero athletes bring home silver medals. Read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. Grab your cell phone, scan this QR code, our quick response code, to download the Crossroads Today app. You can watch us wherever, whenever. Get breaking news alerts and vote in our viewer polls. Mac?
Thank you, James. We are looking, of course, at our early summer pattern here, and things are looking fairly quiet. But for the next few days, we're going to be watching out in West Texas as those big afternoon thunderstorms build. And will they affect us is the big question. And we'll be trying to answer that for you coming up in the next segment. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
We know you always buy everything your family needs, like the best cuts from our meat market, a bakery with fresh goods baked daily. We are here to assist you. And you can grab fresh tacos. Supermercado Morelos. Live the tradition.
Hi folks, Cool Dave here with a reminder that the best way to start your day is with a good hearty breakfast. Grandy's has you covered. Fresh scrambled eggs, oven-cooked bacon, hash browns, a made-fresh biscuit, country sausage gravy, and it's simply the best. Just like your grandma made it. But Grandy's breakfast comes without the dishes she'd make you wash. So start your day with breakfast at Grandy's and toss those dirty dishes. Grandy's on Navarro near Mockingbird in Victoria.
Are you a new AT&T customer looking to upgrade your phone? You're trapped, locked into your contract for 3 years. And your phone is locked into their network too. No 2-year upgrade for you, Jonathan. But T-Mobile has a way out. Introducing the Easy Unlock. Bring your AT&T locked phone and T-Mobile will pay it off and give you one of the latest 5G smartphones free. Plus, next time you're ready for an upgrade a year earlier. You're free now, little one. So are you. Just so we're clear, I did trip on purpose for comedy.
Free your phone now at T-Mobile. You can enjoy endless entertainment and local news updates for free on our 17 over-the-air channels. Connect your TV antenna to your smart TV in 3 easy steps. Connect the coaxial cable from your antenna to the back of your TV. Select the menu button on your remote and navigate to the correct input of your antenna. Find the channel scan option and click it. Setting up your antenna will keep you entertained and informed with the latest weather updates and emergency information for free. Call or email for questions or more information. Stay connected and stay safe.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. A fairly good-looking afternoon. A little cloud cover, but enough sunshine to warm things up very nicely and give us a nice, tranquil day. You know, we've had so many severe storms rolling through here. We need a little bit of quiet there for a little bit. Our current temperature 79 degrees. Winds out of the east at 11 miles an hour, so even the winds are not a big problem at this hour. As you can see, the Crossroads is right here, and as I mentioned in the tease, we're at the point of the year which, you know, everything kind of rotates annually, where we get severe thunderstorms that fire out in deep West Texas, triggered by the dry line. Now, what is the dry line? Well, if you can imagine all the humidity rolling this way, and then, of course, hot, dry air in West Texas, it sort of meets up, and in that boundary, it sort of sets up a little bit of trough line here, and it occasionally fires these storms, okay? Now, it's not an efficient production. It's not like a cold front, but you will see these big thunderstorms fire in the mountains and along the dry line, and here's the trick. This is very hard in the weather department. They boil up, and you have thunderstorms, and then they weaken as the sun goes down. But if they boil up high enough and catch the southeasterly wind, you can see how everything's flowing southeast, then they start rolling in our direction, and they will become their own little energy field there. So we have to watch them very carefully. So for today, they're looking for possibility of severe weather between now and sundown out in far West Texas. Tomorrow, it gets a little bit more interesting because it gets much closer to our region. Now, here we are, and you can see that from North Texas down to Del Rio and Laredo, they have a possibility of some severe weather, and it fires in the afternoon because it needs the heat, it needs the humidity flowing east, and then it needs that dry line to sort of help lift it up and trigger it out. So it's not like something that you can watch for a couple of days moving in our direction. These would pop up and then roll eastward, and that's why pretty much all of us in Texas are included, even our area as well, and that's for your Thursday. But let's put it this way, it's pretty far, and if it were to develop, we would know, and we would be here to tell you about it. So here's the way it looks on a surface map. The warm air, obviously, rolling back to our area. It feels very, you know, kind of early summer out there. And then the low begins to move, the frontal system begins to move, and we see the dry line out there. And watch how it sort of spits out right there. This is Thursday, 8 p.m. Remember I told you it was late afternoon? It spits out these little bands of thunder showers that start out there and roll this way. And we're in the direction, so if anything fires, we need to watch it very carefully, and this will go on for the next few days, and we'll see if another line develops there on Friday evening, like I told you. So it's, shall we say, so far so good, all's good, but we're going to be watching, or that's where I'm going to be watching out west. Anything develops, we'll let you know. Tonight, we'll get down to only 70 degrees. You don't even need the warm pajamas anymore, you know. We're looking for increasing clouds, a little bit more humid, southeast winds at about 15 overnight. Tomorrow, we're going to be mostly cloudy. A 20% chance of a late afternoon shower. We'll track it if it happens. Otherwise, 86. And then we look at the extended outlook, and we're looking for temperatures to stay well into the upper 80s all through the week, all the way into Cinco de Mayo. All right, we'll toss it over to, first, you got to remember, we want you to scan the QR code and put Crossroads Today on your phone. That way we can let you know if any of that stuff out west develops. But now, the dynamic duo.
Put up the warm pajamas. All right, coming up next on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at Wall Street. Then in business news, a jobs report shows private sector hiring surged in April.
Need weather around the clock? When the weather changes in the Crossroads, you need a reliable source. Visit Interactive Radar online for the latest conditions in the Crossroads area. CrossroadsToday.com. Weather at your fingertips.
Looking for a place where the whole family can enjoy the latest movies? Look no further than the Grand Theater in Yoakum, Texas. Our theater is the perfect destination for family fun. With the latest movies in a historic setting, we offer an experience like no other. Bring your family and friends to Grand Theater, and we'll see you at the movies.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel. And the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or get $2,250 total cash allowance on all 2023 Silverado LT TurboMax pickups. Chevy drives Texas. Find new roads.
Join us for the grand opening of a 900-acre master-planned community, Garcia's Creek Ranch Estates, located just south of Inez, Texas, with 5 to 38-acre lots. To celebrate, we're offering special pre-sale pricing during this event on May 6th and 7th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Enjoy lunch, music, and private tours by horse-drawn buggies. It's time to build the home of your dreams. in Garcitas Creek Ranch Estates.
When we heard about the body in the barrel, our minds were running wild.
Lake Mead, one of the deadliest lakes in America. Warming temperatures are exposing secrets.
Somebody out there is sweating. They know that we've got the evidence.
Secrets of the Lake, Thursday on ABC.
All right, taking a look at your stocks, the Dow losing 271 points, the S&P 500 losing 28 points, and the Nasdaq down 56 points. Oil down $3.06, closing at $68.60 a barrel. Private sector hiring spiked last month. The payroll company ADP estimates employers added 296,000 jobs in April. That's double what economists expected. The biggest job gains were in leisure, hospitality, education, health services, natural resources, and construction. The biggest job losses were in financial services and manufacturing.
McDonald's found it troubling to learn children as young as 10 years old were working in some Kentucky restaurants. A Labor Department investigation into 3 franchisees found 305 children worked more hours than legally permitted or performed tasks not allowed for young workers. Investigators say they sometimes worked as late as 2 a.m. One of those 10-year-olds was also allowed to operate a deep fryer, which is prohibited for workers under 16. The total fines for the 3 franchisees was more than $212,000.
All right, stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, the U.S. Coast Guards in Georgia rescued 2 boaters and their dog. We have this story straight ahead.
Every day we help kids navigate the realities of the world and make healthy, lifelong choices. Kids learn about alcohol, tobacco, and drugs in lots of ways, often from friends and siblings. While kids may hear lots of harmful information, parents do play a huge role in helping them make the right decision. Talking to your child, sitting down to a family meal at night just to discuss how their day went, or encouraging extracurricular activities can make all the difference.
The moment that my eyes landed on my Ford Escape, I knew it was the one. I wanted a fun vehicle. I really love my moonroof. I'm able to get really nice natural light. The Apple CarPlay, I use that all the time. It has really nice speakers to have a mini concert in your car. My name is Sirina y me encanta mi Ford Escape.
Drive Escape with 0% plus 1,000 cash plus up to 500 toward accessories. Includes complimentary maintenance.
Ford is the best in Texas.
The biggest Jeopardy event ever is in prime time. Monday, 6 all-time greats.
What is grit?
Who's Caro?
What is Mean Girls?
One incredible tournament.
Oh,
I think you should get this checked out.
bring it.
Who will be crowned the first ever Jeopardy Masters champion? If we have any more games like that, I don't know if my heart is going to hold out.
Jeopardy Masters primetime event starts Monday, 8/7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Already, you and Gelman are matching. We're matching on songs.
Live is Emmy nominated for Outstanding Daytime Talk Series and Talk Series Host. Next live, Karen Gillan, our supervillain turned superhero.
He left out some important information, but that is the gist of it.
In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, plus Kathleen Turner.
Dr. Phil, have you tried mushrooms? And if not, would you like to?
Moms on mushrooms, a growing trend.
It's changing my behaviors and making me a better mom.
But you're fighting to keep it from getting legalized.
Yes, I am. It's a mind-altering drug.
We're talking about a drug, a natural medication that is incredibly safe.
They can and do hijack the brain.
Alcohol, marijuana, opioids. When are we going to learn our lesson?
New Dr. Phil.
We want to invite you to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it in your connected TV through Amazon, Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus.
The U.S. Coast Guard rescued 2 boaters and their dog Reggie after their 28-foot catamaran started taking on water near St. Catherine's Sound, Georgia. The survivors were able to send a mayday before the boat sank. The Coast Guard says it found the trio thanks to personal locator beacons, which transmit a distress signal. They say Reggie and company are all in good spirits. Amazing.
Oh.
Can you imagine putting the dog in the basket and then going up? I mean,
sometimes they know you're there to help and they calm down.
They calm down.
Yeah.
I would not be calmed down going up in a basket like that.
Right.
Have you guys ever seen that video of where during the California fires they were reaching people out with helicopters and the lady's just going up and up
Yes,
and up and up?
I've seen that.
That's crazy.
I've seen that often, and I think about it, and I'm going, okay,
just put me back down
or go there.
Evacuate when you can.
You
right?
bet.
That's right.
All right, folks, we've got some fairly nice and quiet weather for the Crossroads for the next couple of days. As I mentioned, we're just watching West Texas to see if any big storms develop over the next couple of days. Otherwise, yeah, it's getting into the upper 80s right on through. Even if we didn't have the cloud cover, it'd be in the 90s. So we have some things to be grateful for. As we get to the weekend, no significant change in our weather pattern. So all of a sudden we get to that early summer pattern where it's okay. We're just waiting for the tropics to build up.
Yeah.
So we'll watch for that.
Okay, but is it pool weather?
Oh, I definitely.
This weekend?
I would definitely.
Good.
I'll go to your. We'll go to your pool.
Go to my pool? Yeah, if it's clean, you know.
Yeah, that summer's near, huh?
Summer is around the corner. I mean, it's really rare for us to get any cold fronts after May 1st. I mean, it's possible, but something that would trigger like the big lines of storms we had earlier, it's getting later and later. So now as the fronts go north, we watch West Texas to see if those storms drift into our direction.
All right, Mac, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. Remember, we're always on at Crossroads Today Plus.
And we hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6.